Hi, I'm Television's Dale Chapman, and welcome once again to Weird Geniuses in France. Typically here at the top of the show, I have some introductory remarks. And my comments before this week's show are disturbing. And that breaks a basic rule of putting together a comedy show, is you don't put disturbing comments at the top of the show, but you know, we're on cable access, we can do whatever we want. And I don't know how you talk about things at this point and they are not disturbing. You know, everything out in the world is just haywire. Surreal is the new real. What's considered surreal in the 80s and 90s is just normal today. We need a new word for surreal. Hyper surreal or super surreal to indicate things that are way bizarre that blow your mind, because everything's surreal at this point. We are through the looking glass. We're in the bizarro world. It wouldn't surprise me if I woke up one day, walked out the door, and saw a Mad Hatter. Ooh, let's have a tea party! That's exactly what I'm expecting to see on a daily basis. And the thing that is disturbing for me, and it may be for you as well, is that it appears that Academy Award winning actor Kevin Spacey is trying to steal my life. And I know that sounds ludicrous, so let me go into some detail and give you some background. Many years ago on this show, we had a Jack Abramoff sketch. We're the only sketch comedy television program that had a Jack Abramoff sketch. Saturday Night Live didn't have a Jack Abramoff sketch because the 12-year-olds who watch Saturday Night Live don't know who criminal lobbyist Jack Abramoff is. We did. Mad TV didn't have one, Chappelle Show, whatever was on the air at the time, only Weird Geniuses in France had a Jack Abramoff sketch. And then a few years later, they made a feature film about Jack Abramoff called Casino Jack, starring Kevin Spacey. It's not very good, it's real straightforward and dull. Has John Lovitz in it. The high point of the movie is John Lovitz being stabbed in the face with a pen. So if that's your greatest moment, you're probably in trouble. So okay, that's all well and good. That means nothing. We did a sketch, and I'm Jack Abramoff, and they made a movie, and Kevin Spacey's Jack Abramoff. Who would give it a second thought? Then recently, on the internet, I saw that Kevin Spacey was putting together a short film as part of a promotion for a whiskey company. I know that doesn't make any sense, but somehow the two things made sense to them. And he made this short film called The Ventriloquist. Well, many years before Kevin Spacey made his Ventriloquist, I made a movie called The Ventriloquist. And there are various similarities between the Kevin Spacey Ventriloquist and the Dale Chapman Ventriloquist.
I can't believe you completely blew it!
You had your chance and you blew it!
You promised to behave yourself.
Stop putting words in my mouth!
You know what? I'm getting tired of you telling me what to do all the time. I'm not your puppet!
Everything is fine. I like to go at my own pace.
I'll ask her.
No, look. I'll ask her when I'm good and ready.
I don't have to stand here and take romantic criticism from someone who is not even anatomically correct.
I do not need you to lecture me.
Hey.
Someone help me! I'm sitting on the lap of a sexual predator! Rape! Rape! Rape!
A big, fat, dim-witted jackass!
Don't compliment that guy. I'm the one doing all the work.
Look, I'm out there every day telling jokes, trying to put on a show, but what are you doing? Nothing!
Okay, now we seem to have a trend on our hands, where I play a character and then 3, 4, 5 years later, Kevin Spacey plays the exact same character. I think it's a single white female situation we're looking at here. And you might say, oh, you're being too paranoid, you're making too big a deal out of this, blah, 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 blah. Well, let me give you some more history. I was a driver for the Chicago International Film Festival in 1992 and 1993. You go pick up participants from the airport and bring them to their hotel or various events, drive them around. I drove around Robert Altman and Bobcat Goldthwait and Jan Troell, who's the second greatest Swedish film director. Ingmar, you're probably very familiar with Jan Troell. And also, I picked up Kevin Spacey from O'Hare and brought him to the Lennox House. He was in town as part of a tribute to Jack Lemmon. They had been in Glengarry Glen Ross together and in some Eugene O'Neill plays on Broadway. So Kevin Spacey was in town to pay tribute to his hero, Jack Lemmon. I picked him up and brought him to his hotel. It was a pretty innocuous encounter. You know, Kevin Spacey's exactly like you see in the movies, but it must have made some sort of indelible impression on his psyche, and I think he's been obsessed with me ever since, and following me and stalking me. And at some point, something snapped in his head, and he decided, whatever Dale it does, I'm going to do that too. Let's not forget, Kevin Spacey was the serial killer in Seven. You know, maybe that did something to the wiring in his brain and now he's a little nutty. It wouldn't surprise me if you went over to Kevin Spacey's house and opened the wrong door, if you found a room where my picture is plastered all over one of the walls, and in the corner is a monitor that just plays a loop of We're Geniuses in France again and again. I highly expect to go to the window, look out, and see Kevin Spacey going through my trash. It is not pleasant to have a celebrity stalking you. And you might say, oh, well, that's too bad for you, Dale. Yeah, well, today Kevin Spacey is stalking me. Tomorrow Philip Seymour Hoffman is stalking you. Or Marissa Tomei is stalking you. And we'll see how much you like it. Anyway, I thought I should make you aware of the situation. We now live in a world where celebrities stalk regular people. It happened to me. It might happen to you. Let's put it behind us and watch this week's episode of We're Geniuses in France.